attacking last because they just love the thrill of all the pressure on them being in that triple or lose situation. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've got your popcorn ready because it is the last match of the grand finals. Time to Throw versus Tribe Gaming. And Dobbsbin is in first with some Queen Charge Hog Riders.
Yeah, we actually brought some zaps in here as well, which does help us clear out, I think, one of the Infernos and Expo in there as well. And one of the sweepers as well. Starting these heroes to push through from that left-hand side, and the Flame Flinger clearing out from the south. We can get some nice funneling as well, and the Queen's got the healers at hand, and she's making her way towards that scat shot at the moment.
Yeah, everything's looking great. I love the use of the lightnings and the earthquake there in order to not only take out a couple of key defenses, but to really set up the pathing. It forces Queen down and it forces King up toward the Eagle. The only question to ask is, will he still have enough spells left over to allow the Queen to get all the way to the Town Hall? He decides to go with the invisibility spell here, but Queen still ends up going to ability. That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, sad to see the Queen going to ability already. We got a nice wall breaker, picked a really beautiful wall to open up here for the Queen. We just have to make sure we keep her alive. The poison was ready from Dobbs to clear those Clan Castle troops, and Coco Loon's ready here as well because we need to keep those healers alive. The Giga Poison there from the Spell Tower is going to hurt, as well as that Monolith, so Dobbs invests to freeze the Monolith and the Town Hall 2 times in a row here just to make sure we get that first star on the board, and let's see how these hogs push through.
The first freeze was too early, though, as the Town Hall wasn't awake yet, and then the second freeze doesn't last long enough. Coco, that Town Hall stays up. He already sent the champion. The champion is dead, and unfortunately, it's gonna be a 1 star for Time to Throw to open up this match.
We just said that you want to start with a 3-star to be in the best position and mindset possible, and it goes completely the other direction here for Time to Throw. Not the opener that you need. Very unfortunate. If we had that Queen ability a little bit longer, we would have been able to take it down.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. Like you mentioned, if the invis spell that he used for his Queen initially was even just 1 second earlier, and the defending Queen got 1 less shot off on the offensive Queen, he would have had the ability. Queen could have gotten the Town Hall, maybe even another 1 or 2 buildings after that. Could have made all the difference. Maybe a 3-star, at least a 2-star, and a lot better percent.
Yeah, I think the Hogs, it was interesting. They avoided those multi-infernos as well, which meant if we carried on trailing around the outside of the base, they eventually would have had to go all the way back to get that down. And the World Champion was struggling there. I think the Tornado Trap was located around them as well. So there was a little bit of a struggle there on that northern side, maybe because we were trying to multitask and keep that Queen alive, and it cost on the other side of the base there as well. Quite unfortunate.
Overall, a good example of showing you that when you do invest so many spells into the lightning, into the earthquake, you don't have a lot to work with on that Queen charge, and it can be extremely difficult to keep her alive.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that Queen ability is so valuable. It's one of the best abilities in the game, and I mean, the water ability is just as valuable there as well to protect everything. I mean, I wouldn't be able to pick which one's the best, but the Queen ability just can make a difference between getting one of those key defenses or even that Town Hall down, and unfortunately it didn't pay out here very well.
Yeah, and whether it's the best ability or not, it's definitely something these players rely on heavily. They almost treat that Queen ability like an extra rage on these Queen charges. It allows her to stay safe for a little bit longer, go invisible, do a ton of damage in the meantime. But we got Tribe Gaming. After just seeing themselves get a 1-star defense, they got to be feeling a little bit good about that. And they're going in with an early Electro Dragon attack here. Nabrax's been going first for Tribe Gaming for a while now. He seems to be enjoying that opening attacker position. And let's see how he can do here with some rocket balloons and the E-Dragons.
Yeah, he loves that opening attacker spot, but he also loves his E-Dragons in the new Town Hall. And we've got that nice E-Dragon there. We just have to be patient. It gives us the funneling, and then we've got that secondary E-Dragon, which actually gets some really nice chain value off of to the Eagle Artillery there, and a major portion will be going through, though, to that scatter shot on that southern side, because we've got that Queen that gave us the funneling. And look at that Warden ability on all of these Electro Dragons, as well as the Blimp freezing in that compartment there, as well as the Tornado Trap goes off. We're just waiting that out and freezing it yet again to make sure that we can get that star on the board as these Electro Titans are pushing through the core of the base. There are a few trailing around there with that Queen on that left-hand side, though, however.
So far, he's doing a great job. Look at all the value these E-Drags are getting through the middle of the base. They even got that upper Inferno Tower and the Eagle Artillery just now on the right side. Wow. Just absolutely making it look easy. The rage spells were spot on. The free spells were spot on. And he didn't even have to use all the spells to get that done. He still has one rage, one freeze in his pocket. You can already see him starting to get super excited. His team's probably hyping him up in the voice chat and the comms. He's got the rage and the freeze on the left side. Oh, he's freaking out on the camera. You love to see it. Oh, that's one of the best parts about watching these matches, is seeing the player reactions. And speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, Champions War League is going to be having a vote on their Twitter for your favorite player cam reactions. So make sure you go follow their Twitter and go be a part of that vote. But overall, just a completely crushing attack here.
Yeah, leaving those abilities until the very end that were not really needed here as well. Nabrox absolutely crushing it. Solid opening and solid E-Dragon attack. Really nicely done, and Tribe Gaming are looking strong. 2-star lead now after that first round of attacks.
Yeah, they got a solid lead. They're feeling so good after the perfect war they got in the last matchup, and then hitting another 3-star here. They probably honestly aren't even feeling that much pressure. They are so far ahead in the driver's seat. They're going to be sitting pretty, just waiting, seeing if they can get another defense in the next attack. And if they do, it's going to be so hard for Time2Throw to get back into this.
Oh, definitely is going to be quite the challenge to make a comeback from this. I mean, the good thing is it is a complete reset. The stats from the previous war does not correlate over to this one, so that does give them a little bit of advantage over a best of 2. So that does help Time2Throw out and could maybe make a comeback. They just have to make sure that they get these triples in finally. After that, devastating 1-star to open up the wall.
Yep, they have to start banging out some 3-stars right now. Hope that they can get at least 2 defenses, because that's what it's going to take. And against Tribe Gaming's current performance, it's not going to be an easy task to accomplish whatsoever.
No, not at all. And Max is up here again, and we've got another recall with that Queen potentially, as well as these Electro Titans coming in on Nabrox's base. And we've got that Queen starting off on that right-hand side. Wall breaker already open, so I think we're going to go in entirely, get that scatter shot, maybe even the Expo down as before we recall the Queen, or what do you think is going to happen on this one?
Queen going inside for that scatter shot. He's investing the rage spell, so definitely wants her to get at least the scatter. If he's willing to use another spell or two, could also pick up the Expo and the Queen, but he's going to recall shortly after that. Yeah, he's going to invest a lot here. I think he wants at least the Expo and the enemy Archer Queen before he recalls. He does have a jump spell, though, so really interesting to see. No, okay. He decides it's not worth losing the Queen ability because the Monolith locked on. So he's going to redeploy her right there with the E-Titans to go in toward the Monolith, and then we'll be able to use the jump spell to get to the core.
Yeah, we have that Ice Golem walking a little bit towards that northern side. Would it be nice to get some beautiful freeze value around that Monolith, as well as the Clan Castle troops that are about to come out of the Clan Castle here. And as you mentioned, that jump spell that we still had, it does connect the Eagle Artillery to that Town Hall area, and we're using that vulnerability as we push through. There's a lot of damage coming in here, and there are some spell towers in here, which worries me just a little bit now. We're going to be pulling all these healers closer to these multi-infernos, and we've got a lot of damage in. I think we've only got one healer still standing after pushing through these multi-infernos.
These E-Titans trying their best to get through the Town Hall, and they do, but the Giga Bomb hits them, the Giga Poison hits them, the double damage Expos send them to their grave. No more Electro Titans left up, and it's all down to the hero value. We got the Royal Champion working her way down toward the bottom side of the base, already used her ability. She drops as well. The King goes down. The Phoenix brings him back to life for a few seconds, but he is dead. The Queen gets locked onto by this Expo. Look at that clutch minion, though, able to take out the Expo. The Queen pops ability. She might be able to get some more value, but this multi is going to be devastating here.
Yeah, this multi-inferno is going to be picking up everything that is still remaining, as well as that Warden statue. I think a lot of people underestimate how much value that can also do on defense, and unfortunately it's not gonna push through, which puts them actually at even stars. But Tribe Gaming have a whole attack now on Time to Throw.
Yeah, very crazy. It's gonna be 3-3, but Tribe Gaming have only done one attack, and Time to Throw have done two. So a very unfortunate start for Time to Throw in their first two attacks, but Tribe Gaming have got to be really happy about this one. And going into their next few attacks, I don't even know if they've got that much pressure on them. We'll see how that affects their mindset, how that affects their performance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they already had a beautiful opener, and if they continue all the way through, I mean, they were in a really good flow on that last wall, the perfect wall, triple after triple, dropping in hot. I mean, if they keep that momentum going, they could pull all the way through, and for whatever reason, they're picking apart Time to Throw bases very, very well.
Yeah, they are just cracking them down, finding all the weaknesses. They're seeming to have almost no execution errors here. We haven't seen hardly any mistakes from Tribe Gaming in this grand finals matchup. They really showed up to win this tournament, and we'll see if they can finish it in style. I mean, it's a little too early to jinx them, but can they hit 2 perfect wars in a row? It's possible.
That would be absolutely phenomenal, and let's see if they keep up here with the streak. And Kronos is in, and we got some more Twin Hog and some Scallybat Donut here in the core of Van's base this time round, and we're going for that Monolith as well as the Clan Castle. These invisibilities coming in perfectly and keeping all of these buildings out of that range, and that early blimp here as well that we've been seeing repeatedly here to get that first Inferno down. And there's not much up here as well to pick off these loons, and that air defense will get that Dragon Rider down, but that's going to help out a lot for these heroes.
Yeah, take note of how those balloons from the battle blimp even stayed alive long enough to take out an Expo. Like you said, there just wasn't that much damage, just the one air defense slowly picking one off at a time. So that's pretty neat. It's going to be even less damage on the Barbarian King, as it looks like his job is to go in, take out the Town Hall. There's going to be a couple Skelly traps here that are going to mess with him, but he brought a Valkyrie to help support. This Golem is going to dip out and go help the Queen, which I think is even better than going toward the King section, because the King just needs to take the Town Hall, and then anything after that is bonus value. So now the Golem, in combination with the Queen, can get some more work done over here on the right side of the base. Pop that Queen ability, and he's ready to send the Hogs.
Yeah, here we go. The Hogs coming in with that Royal Champion at full force towards that Multi-Inferno. The Eagle Artillery will also go down nice and early here. There's the Warden ability to protect all of the Hogs, as well as the Queen and the Royal Champion, as we clear up and push towards that left-hand side. And because we already found that tornado trap around that Town Hall compartment before the King even got there, we don't even have to worry about these Hogs being sat there in some of the heavy-hitting damage. And Kronos has got a smile on his face as everything's still pushing through. I mean, he's still got an invisibility. The Royal Champion is still at hand. And it's looking pretty good because the Diggy's stunning those last few defenses as well.
Everything just working out perfectly for Kronos in this attack. Nothing going wrong. I mean, even being able to keep the Queen alive by starting the Hogs at the perfect time. And notice he even kept the Golem alive. That Golem, that slow Golem on the left side of the base, never even popped open into Golem mites. Just a flawless attack from Kronos. Tribe Gaming on fire, showing time and time again they not only can come up with good bases, they can come up with good plans against other people's bases, and they can execute them to perfection almost every single time.
Yeah, the value with that Warden ability as well, that we managed to get the World Champion and the Queen under the ability there as well, which made sure that everything did stay alive and helped also regenerate some health from the Unicorn back onto the Queen.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal. Just absolutely beautiful. I did like how we finally got to see a healing spell used with the Hog Riders there. He did bring one, getting those Hogs back up to full health in the middle of the base. But if I'm being honest, he probably didn't even need it. I mean, that was crushed.
Yeah, there was so much still left at the end of the attack, and that's when you know that that attack was designed to absolutely crush, and it was very, very well thought out. And there was just so much still remaining.
Yeah, just beautifully executed attack right there. And Tribe Gaming just on fire. You can't deny it. 2 for 2 in this match after going 5 for 5 in the last match. I mean, it's got to start to feel really rough if you're Time to Throw right now. And it's got to hurt the mindset as well for the 3 players that are still planning their attacks. One of them about to go live here any second. I mean, you're still trying to sit there, plan your attack, do everything you can to get a 3-star. But in the back of your mind, you can't help but feel like it might already be over.
Yeah, Bonky is up next for Time to Throw, and we're bringing in a bit of a Hydra in here. This might be the first Hydra that we see, if I'm correct. And we've got a little bit of cleanup there on that right-hand side because we managed to get rid of one of the air defenses there, and we're actually investing some zaps to clear out the monolith and one of the sweepers in the bomb tower. I think an archer tower in there as well. The only thing that worries me about this is usually, I think that's the same at Town Hall 14. When you had a Hydra, it felt like you always needed spells to support the Hydra troop. But on this one, we're actually investing a lot of these spells early on those zaps.
The Zap Quake definitely takes out a couple of key defenses, but also sets up the pathing. Ideally, he wants all the dragons to continue moving left toward the Inferno Towers, completely skip the Town Hall section. That's just meant for the Blimp troops to take it out with the Rage Spell and the Freeze. The Blimp troops do indeed secure that Town Hall, so perfectly done so far. He's investing his last couple freezes to help the dragons path through the Eagle Artillery section, but the Rage Tower making the Expos do double damage, the Inferno Towers do double damage. The dragons are starting to fizzle out.
We do still have that Royal Champion and Bonky just deployed here on that left-hand side, and just trying to go for that scatter shot as it's distracted by the King, and the Diggy also manages to stun it, and the scatter shot doesn't get another shot off of these heroes, and we're now pathing towards the southern side. This Expo is slowly picking off that Warden, and we still have the Queen and the Royal Champion ability. The Queen is super low though, but that back end King, we should be able to get everything down before going for the King. How do you think this was going to play out? The Royal Champion ability will be able to get some additional health here as well.
Is super close. I think the champion can at least get through the multi here before locking on to the King. She's going to do a little bit of damage, and him being able to hold the Queen ability all the way to the end here is going to come in clutch. Queen pops her ability. Just a couple of those raged up shots from the Queen ability takes out the King, takes out the Warden statue, and this attack just barely squeaks by, but a 3-star is a 3-star, and Time to Throw finally able to take out one of these tribe bases.
Yeah, this is exactly what they needed. They increased the stars through every single attack, starting off with that 1-star, the 2-star, finally getting that 3-star on the board. Let's hope that they keep that momentum going towards the end of this war. They really need to hope for a defense, and they need those triples on because Tribe Gaming are already 2 triples up.
Yeah, and if that pattern continues, maybe they'll be able to get a 4-star on their next attack. They'll be right back in this match. But halfway through this match, 5 attacks in. Oh yeah, and it's 6-6, and look at that percentage difference.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 55.2% there on Time to Throw, and Tribe Gaming, of course, with the 2 beautiful attacks that they had on that 40%, and they've still got a whole attack on them as well, so there's still quite a lead there for Tribe Gaming to even mess up. I mean, they're in a very safe position right now.
Yeah. I keep saying it over and over, but they got to be feeling good. There's just no way they're not feeling good. We'll see what kind of fun attacks they come up with next. Looking forward to seeing what Yo-Yo23 can do, if he's going to come up with a different attack strategy. I feel like he's been doing quite a few different attack strategies throughout this tournament. He's been mixing it up. I think he did 2 Super Bowler attacks and then did a few other things as well. He is one of the most versatile players on this team.
Yeah, we had a lot of versatile attacks in the previous round as well, so we'll see what we've got next. Rakiris is coming in with some Dragon Riders, and we have 4 whole skeleton spells and 5 invisibilities here for that potential Skelly Donut here on Bonky's base, and as well as that Flame Flinger to get some nice value, which gets some additional free buildings around the outskirts of the base. And I guess we don't want to use all of those skeleton spells. We want to hold on to them maybe as well for some of those Dragon Riders to alleviate some pressure.
Yeah, nice start here from Rakira, is using that Yeti Wizard Hog Rider to perfectly distract those first couple defenses. So the Flame Flinger, he can drop them right on top of those defenses. Now going to be able to get some more value. And he's going with a triple Skelly Donut, trying to get the Clan Castle building and 2 Expos out of the way early. Dropping those invisibility spells in the perfect spot. Down go both Expos. Down goes the Clan Castle structure. And he still has 1 skeleton spell left over.
Yeah, as we mentioned, that 1 skeleton spell will come in very handy towards the Dragon Rider portion of the attack. And we go with the heroes now, as we've got that queen already down, and the Giants actually distracting that king a little bit here. So the queen and those headhunters can take that king down without taking too much damage here. And King's hopefully going to force off that queen towards that town hall area. There is a monolith in here, so Kyrus has brought a bunch of giants to eat up that damage for the queen. We had 3 giants coming in here already to help protect that queen, and we had a nice wall breaker opening up these walls for that scattershot compartment.
Yeah, he decides not to use the skeleton spell to help the queen, just wants to pop her ability, clear the monolith, clear a couple Teslas, like you mentioned earlier. He would rather save the skeleton spell to maybe help these Dragon Riders, or save it even longer than that and help the Royal Champion. He did bring a lot of sneaky goblins that he's using to secure the town hall right here with the double freeze, because I think he noticed the invis wouldn't last long enough, and a nice save from Rakiris. Without that double freeze, the sneaky goblins would have died early, and this could have been big trouble for Tribe Gaming.
Yeah, definitely very, very well thought out there, and it was nice to see that once we did have that monolith down, we knew that we were going to use those sneaky goblins to grab that town hall, since we cleared out the other storages and collectors, and that early warden ability to protect these Dragon Riders also gets these headhunters under that warden ability to get the enemy queen down before everything starts to path towards that last final hefty compartment here. The final free spell coming in here, beautiful value as we freeze the Eagle Artillery as well as that multi-inferno on that back end side. We don't have any more hero abilities, but we're getting some nice work done with the Diggy stunning these last few defenses.
Wow, even with him having to use 2 extra freezes to secure the town hall that he probably wasn't anticipating to have to use, he still has enough power to squeak by and get through all these defenses. But unfortunately, 2-1, he runs just out of time. And finally, in the last 2 matches, we see Tribe Gaming are actually human and not just robots that can 3-star every single base.
Yes, they finally got the defense that they needed. It is a very, very high percentage, though, which means Tribe Gaming, Time2Throw need those triples on Tribe Gaming's bases now.
Yeah, definitely not over yet. If Time2Throw can hit 2 more triples and get a couple more defenses, we might just end up tied in the end.
Yeah, Van's up next here for Time2Throw, and we got some Zap, Wake, Lalo coming in here. We cleared out one of the Expos. What else did we get under there? I mean, we did some nice value by splitting them up, but what else to go down there on that northern side?
I think he got a Rage Tower and an Expo, and that's it with the Zaps. That's all he was able to get. The Queen on the top side with the Golem, with the log launcher in. The Queen took a lot of damage early, but now she's okay. The Unicorn can start to slowly heal her back up. The King makes his way inside that wall segment on the left with the Skeleton spell. I'm guessing the plan was he was supposed to get all the way to the scatter shot. Looks like he might not get that far. But the Golem, the Yetis out of the log launcher, the Queen, still getting some value in the middle of the base here. We got the poison spell to help out. The ice golems are going to slow down that Queen. We send the champion from the left, and notice how these golem mines are still alive. They might be able to help out and distract some of these defenses for the world champion, but the scatter shot still locks on.
Yeah, unfortunately, the golem is in range of the safe zone there in the core, so scatter still does some damage there on the royal champion, but we still get it done there, and we now have to make sure that we get these loons towards that town hall. There is an invisibility spell tower here, so Van does invest these freezes on that, as well as the town hall as these loons approach it. But we have no more freezes remaining. The loons are on that town hall, and it just goes down before the invisibility spell tower goes off and redirecting all of these loons towards that right-hand side.
That was really close, but the Town Hall down just in time. He did save the extra Lava Hound for the side compartment here, like we've seen time and time again on these Lalo attacks where the balloons we expect to not survive forever after the Town Hall goes down. But unlike those other attacks, Van had to use this Royal Champion early in this one. Most of these successful Lalo attacks we've been seeing of this style earlier are relying heavily on the Royal Champion saved for the back end to come clear out this side scattershot compartment. And as you can see here, that scattershot stays up. No champion to save the day, and it's going to be yet again another defense for Tribe Gaming.
Yeah, these bases are getting the better of Time2Throw. They struggled all the way through that first war, and it is just showing that the base building for Tribe Gaming is just superior. We've only had 2 triples from Time2Throw across both of them. I mean, these hits are close. They are high percentage, but again, they just don't have that power to push all the way through to get the triple that they need.
Exactly, like you mentioned, even in their first matchup, all their fails were like above 90%. So close, but just little mistakes here or there, or just the perfect traps from Tribe Gaming barely stopping these attacks, and they just haven't been able to crack through these bases.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate because they did have a really beautiful run beforehand. It's just this final, it might just be the pressure, of this epic grand final that is getting to them, because they had a really good war before, and they were dominating up against Tribe Gaming the first time round.
Yeah, you could definitely argue pressure might play a big factor here. Tribe Gaming, these players have been around, they've been playing on camera, they've been playing for high dollar stakes for years. At this point, you got to imagine they're kind of used to it. They probably just see it the same as any other matchup. You might not be able to say the same for Time2Throw. Maybe they're not used to having to play with the cameras on, with admins watching and everything else, and it just adds a little bit of nervousness to their attacks.
Here we go. We've got the next attack coming in, and it is Yo-Yo up next for Tribe Gaming, and we are bringing in some more Electro Titans, and we're doing another Warden Walk here, and we're actually starting it off already there on that right-hand side. We're saving one healer at the moment. Don't want to deploy that just yet, and right now we're probably going to try and rage that Warden up here as we go for that enemy queen, and we clear her off of the base here very, very quickly here.
Pretty cool that the Owl even survived there as the Queen locked onto the Owl. The Owl still getting some extra value right here in the Rage, allowing that Warden Walk to go very quickly. He takes out the Queen and the Scatter Shot in just 30 seconds. That was pretty fast.
Yeah, we've already got that first Electro Titan on that right-hand side. Is going to help clear out a little bit from that right-hand side and give us the funneling into this multi-inferno compartment. I like the entry point here because we can gain a lot of access to some heavy-hitting defenses, and at the same time, we've got that blimp coming in, and we can use that Warden ability to protect all of these troops as well as the blimp. And with this sweeper distracted by some of these healers, the blimp bypasses it and flies all the way through to secure that town hall.
Perfectly done so far from Yo-Yo 23. That battle blimp troops The Yeti bomb right there with the rage spell takes the town hall. The Yeti's hopping over the wall, or the Yeti mites rather, getting a little bit extra value. The jump spell placed perfectly. The healer's still alive. He hasn't lost too many except for one to a sinking air mine. The king wrapping around the right side of the base, already cleared the Tesla farm and just now popping his ability. His heroes have a lot of HP going into the outer edge of the base here. He's got the champion as well. So all 4 heroes at full health with a handful of healers to help keep them alive. Interesting to see that he decides to use the champion by herself on the right side of the base.
Also good to know we have a lot of spells still left, as mentioned as well, to get some additional value. And the world champion started there on that right-hand side. She will meet that king, so Yo-Yo uses that invisibility spell to push that world champion away from the king to get that expo down, and now investing these freezes here as well to get it done with a rage spell and freezing it yet again. Ooh. All of these spells hitting there for that royal champion to get that king down.
Nicely done with the rage spell and the double freeze on his champion. He wanted to keep her alive. She took out the king with the help of the headhunter at the last second there, and the RC pops her ability, able to stay alive, and he keeps all 4 heroes alive through this entire attack. It's hard to doubt the skills of this guy. Just an absolutely crushed base yet again, and Tribe Gaming continuing to advance their lead over Time2Throw in this final match.
Yeah, they are dominating so much in this war, and I don't think it's possible for Time2Throw to make a comeback from this one. Very, very heartbreaking for them because they had such a good run there in that upper bracket.
They did have such a good run, but I think it's also important to celebrate. You know, second place is nothing to be ashamed about. I mean, every team in the world competing to get a spot in this playoff bracket, in this tournament, and even just to make it all the way to the grand finals sends a big message to everybody else.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, as well, I mean, this is a world championship team, and they did beat them once, and they're putting up a good fight. They're not giving up, and they do get a defense here and there, but these bases, they've just figured out how to crack them. Tribe Gaming, they're all warmed up, and they've got that momentum going, and they're just really keeping up all the way until the very, very end.
Indeed, and let's see what Diego is going to be able to do with the final attack for Time2Throw. Bringing out the Queen Charge, Hog Riders yet again. He's got 2 wall breakers on this one, a bowler, probably for some funnel value, and a wall wrecker currently activated. We'll see if he sticks with that. I don't know if we've seen any wall wreckers being used today, have we?
I don't think so. It's really nice to see a wall wrecker when it's used well, because it can help get some walls open and push through, and also eat some damage there as well, because it has got a lot of HP to push forwards as well. It's not as fluffy or as squishy as you'd like to say that the flame flinger or a log launcher is. It's got a little bit more to push through, and we've got that Queen Charge there on that north hand side, and we're getting that Expo down, and we'll then continue through to get that scatter shot down. And Diego has already sent that wall breaker in, and it looks like Diego wants his queen to go for that scatter shot compartment, exit this compartment, and with the funneling that he's created there around that multi-inferno compartment, he will go and get that queen and that whole right hand side down.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I like the setup so far. He just wants the queen to ignore the multi and the eagle section. She's struggling a little bit with those ranged up defenses. And here come the CC troops, but with one more rage with the poison spell, she will be A-okay. That wall wrecker is being used to go snipe the eagle, snipe the inferno tower. It's basically just a Yeti bomb, pretty much the same value that a blimp would have gotten. The upside to using the wall wrecker instead of the battle blimp here is with the battle blimp, you would probably use 1 or 2 Coco Loots in front of it. With the wall wrecker, you don't have to use anything. So arguably he might have saved just a little bit of camp space. But he gets all the value he needs to, sends the king from the right side to start helping to shape up this queen walk even more.
Yeah, I mean, we've invested a lot of time already, so we're already at the 1 minute 15 remaining time, so you have to be careful. So Diego does already start these hogs as we start to go for that scatter shot area. We already invest that first freeze so we can stop that damage coming in. There's the first giant bomb going off. As you mentioned, we don't usually see many heal spells to support these hogs through, so it'll be interesting to see if we find any more giant bombs towards that south-hand side.
He's doing a great job of using the freeze spells, though, to cover all the heavy-hitting defenses. The timing here actually works out perfectly as Queen finishes off the Town Hall just before the Hog Riders get there, and they can completely ignore that Giga Poison section as they wrap around the bottom side. He still has the Queen ability, still has the Royal Champion ability, and one more invisibility spell to get through all of this. It's looking great for Diego.
Yeah, this is a great way to end it off here, though. But unfortunately, it is a bit tough since this is the only final attack, but we didn't even need that Royal Champion ability. Look how much is still remaining. I think we even had an invisibility spell there at the very, very end that Diego didn't even need and had ready in case the Queen or one of these heroes is taking a little bit too much damage.
Yeah, a lot of spells that he can work with that he can use for either section of the attack, wherever it's needed for the Hogs, for the Champion, for the Queen, and he's great at keeping an eye on all those different components and figuring out where he needs to use the spells. Perfect attack right there from Diego. A nice way for Time2Throw to end the match on their side, but we still got one more attack coming in from Tribe Gaming, and all they need is 1 star or better, and they're going to be able to win this tournament.
Yeah, if you have a look at the stats right below us, it is even on stars, and that's just to show how strong Tribe Gaming are at the moment, and they are to be feared. And we've got another Queen Charge recall, and with Hogs, and as well we've got the Drill. I think this is the same that we had before from Exorcist, and let's see how this one plays out on Diego's base.
Nice. Let's see if he can get some good value out of that Siege Machine. The Yeti on the left side, able to snipe a couple outside buildings, and the Yeti Mites do finish off that Archer Tower, which is perfect for forcing the Queen to the right and inside the Scattershot compartment, which is exactly where it looks like he wants her to go. That aggressive early rage to allow Queen to take out the enemy Queen, take out the Scattershot, and continue her charge here. He does have 4 super wall breakers, so it's going to be really interesting to see what walls he's trying to break and where he's trying to get his Queen into.
Yeah, there's the recall on the Queen after we cleared out that south-hand side compartment, and we've got that Queen already coming in there on the right, and it looks like we want the Queen to enter this compartment in a little bit of a different direction, maybe. I mean, we've got an additional healer coming in there as well, just because we couldn't pull all 5 healers, so we usually save one to use later on. Do you think that recall spell was valuable there, or why do you think he recalled the Queen from that southern side?
Yeah, I think he wanted to pull the Queen out, go get the Eagle Artillery, and go get this Inferno Tower in the middle, and basically enter the core from a different angle. If he had continued in that bottom compartment, he would have to get a lot of defenses, and then the Monolith would start hitting the Queen as she wraps around the right side of the wall, and he wouldn't be able to get the Monolith until after he's done fighting the CC troops. So basically, the Monolith would have been banging on his Queen the entire time he's fighting CC troops, and it would have costed potentially 2, 3, 4, 5 spell space just to get through it. So 1 recall spell for 2 spell space is a lot cheaper than 5 spell space to allow better timing for the Queen to take out the Monolith, and it looks like it worked out perfectly here as Queen took the Monolith. She can reach the Town Hall and the other Inferno Tower.
Yeah, this is a beautiful compartment for the Queen to be in. She's secured the Town Hall, and hopefully we can avoid a lot of that damage there, because these Hogs are already entering from that left-hand side. The Warden ability wears off, and as you can see, that Queen, she gets the Royal Champion down and starts to go for that multi-Inferno. It is raged up. The Expo will go back onto the Queen, though, and she just gets that multi-Inferno down and stays up against that Expo.
Wow, the Hogs struggling so much on the left side of the base, but the invisibility spell to save the Champion was clutch. The battle drill on the top side to clear that entire compartment. The Queen gets the last Inferno Tower, and with just a couple of seconds to spare, he gets the last storage. 4 seconds left over, and Tribe Gaming get it done. They are the champions of the Champions War.